So, the first one is introduction. The National Education Policy represents Malaysia's vision to achieve fully developed nation status. It aims to drive economic development, social justice, moral values, and national unity through a dynamic education system. To achieve this vision, the government implemented the Malaysian Education Blueprint from 2013 until 2025 to transform and align the national education system with international standards. Sound public policy is essential to ensure systematic country growth and to prevent alignment issue during the execution.
Let's continue with issues. First, we have weaknesses in student achievement and quality. Our education has been declined in international rankings because student performance below the international average and lag behind regional peers. The system was not providing equitable quality regardless of a student's background. It was criticized for being too examination oriented. It can cause outcome issues like language proficiency, also an impact on inconsistent teachers' quality, such as variability in teaching standards and professional development. Equity and accessibility gaps. Equity and accessibility gaps were critical issues in the National Education Policy 2011 because they directly undermine the core objective of providing equal education opportunity for all children. Schools in rural areas, particularly in East Malaysia, lack of basic facilities, sufficient infrastructure, and trained teachers compared to well-equipped urban schools. This led to unequal achievement rates and limited the life chances of rural students. Even the policy practice gap, that is a discrepancy between high-level policy intentions, still face barriers to enrollment and learning. Next, infrastructure and resources constraint. The policy faces financial and human resource constraint, limited budget for building new schools, upgrading facilities, hiring or training teachers, and providing support for special education or the advantages of students. Besides, low-income families or rural areas often lack access to learning devices, internet at home, and quiet study spaces. It will undermine the effectiveness of digital learning and equity-oriented components of policy. Last but not least is implementation and system management issues. The issues is about Asian education policy struggles. It reflects broader global patterns, fail to achieve their intended outcomes due to weak implementation mechanism, inadequate human resources, and inefficient allocation of funds. Many countries face significant challenges in translating education policies into effective practices because of limited implementation capacity, poor monitoring system, and unequal distribution of resources.
About few of objective in One Murid One Sukan policy, and I would like to start with foster racial unity. One of the main objective of this policy is to foster racial unity among students. Racism is one of the big issue that still occurs in Malaysia. Therefore, the Ministry of Education or KPM introduced the One Murid One Sukan policy to encourage students from different races and even different religion and background to interact with one another through sport activities. Because, as we all know, sports can unite people. Sports are enjoyed by people regardless of race, religion, and culture. While students play on the same team, they learn to communicate, cooperate, and even support each other. Through this interaction, students can build great friendship and even mutual respect. As a result, racial can be reduced and unity among Malaysians can be strengthened from a very young age. Next, I would like to talk about improving physical fitness among students. Nowadays, many students suffers from obesity, diabetes, and even high blood pressure. This is because many students cannot take care of themselves. Now, this policy can help students because Through One Murid One Sukan policy, every student is encouraged to participate in sports regularly. When students take part in aerobic exercises such as running, football, badminton, or even basketball, their heart becomes stronger and blood circulation improves throughout the body. When blood circulation improves throughout the body became more active and even more active in classes and even can perform well during exams. Regular physical activity also helps students maintain a healthy weight, increase stamina, and reduce risk of health problems. Now, this is why this objective is very important to students and to Malaysians. Lastly, I want to talk about the last policy in One Murid One Sukan policy is forming character identity and noble value among students. Nowadays, we can see unhealthy habits are always done by all students in Malaysia, such as procrastinate in their daily life. Therefore, this policy was created to develop positive character traits and a strong identity through sport participation. Sports require discipline, commitment, responsibility, and teamwork. Students must follow training schedule, obey rules, and work hard to achieve their goal. Their experience helps students build self-confidence, leadership skills, and good moral values. Through continuous training and discipline, students can become more responsible and efficient managing in their time and tasks. So, when students become more disciplined and know how to manage their time, they will become a greater person in future and even can be a greater man when they are older. As a result, they will improve not only in sport but also in their academic performance and daily lives.
Next, I will explain the actors involved in policy implementation. Several parties are involved in ensuring that a policy is successfully implemented. These include the government, politician, government staff, organization or association, and the private sector. The government will formulate and implement policy, while the politician and the government staff will support and execute them. Organization or association and the private sector are also collaborate with each other with the government to help achieve its objectives. So, I will give you guys a real life example of the One Murid One Sukan policy in Malaysia. So, as we know, the key actors that are involved in this policy are the Ministry of Education, school administration, teachers, and also parents. So, what the things that Ministry of Education do? Ministry of Education plays the main role in overseeing and implementing the policy, while school administration helps coordinate activities in school and the teachers supervise and guide students, while the parents provide support and encouragement towards their children to participate in those programs. And the main target group of this policy is a primary and secondary school student, where every student is encouraged to participate in at least one sport. The purpose of this policy promote a healthy and active lifestyle among students. It was introduced based on the idea proposed by Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin when he served as Deputy Prime Minister at that time. This policy aims to ensure that students develop not only for their academically but also focusing on their physically. And this policy also helps students for build discipline, teamwork, and also a strong sport among students.
So right now, I will continue on explaining about how government implementation of national education policy in Malaysia. This is refer on how the government turns its education planning into real action in school. Ministry of Education Malaysia or KPM ensure policies are carried out effectively, such as focus on improving education quality through curricular updates, teacher training, co-curricular activities. School and teacher play an important role in applying policies in classroom. Furthermore, not only schools and teachers need to support in implementation, but government also need to be part of it. Ministry of Education Malaysia need to provide necessary resources by funding and teaching materials, better school facilities such as toilet, classroom, and teachers need to receive training to adapt to a new methods and syllabus to teach them better. This ensure policies are not just introduced but properly create a better learning environment for students and teachers. One example of how this policy is implemented can be seen through the One Murid One Sukan initiative. This program encourages every student to take part in at least one sport activity so that they can develop not only in academic but physically. In school, this is carried out during co-curricular sessions where schools and teachers make a program such as cross-country or sports training during physical education, such as pendidikan jasmani. One Murid One Sukan also promotes balanced student development. Every student participates in at least one sport. Activities include more like competition, and teacher even supervise and guide student. Some school involve external coach. For example, uh, in netball, some school even take personal coach to teach them better so that the school can win for the netball competition.
And next, I will present the evolution of one Murid One Sukan policy using a SWOT analysis. So the first one is the strength. Strength of this policy helps to balance student academic and physical development, and it also create opportunities for students to excel in sport, promote a sport culture in school, and encourage students to stay physically active. However, there are some weakness. The weakness is support facilities and resources are not distributed equally among schools. Some schools have limited access to sport facilities, and there may not be enough coaches or sport teachers to supervise them. In addition, some students have low interest in sport, which it can reduce the participation. And now we're going to moving on the opportunities and threats. So what is the opportunities for this policy? So the opportunities is that this policy allows talented students to develop their sporting abilities and achieve their ambition. It can also produce more professional athletes in the country. And furthermore, collaboration with the relevant organization can provide sponsorship, scholarship, or maybe opportunities to the student to participate in a larger competition. And lastly is the threats. The threat is that insufficient funding for certain sport programs and a lack support of encouragement from parents may affect the success of the policy. So, in a conclusion, while this policy faces several challenges, it provides many benefits and opportunities for students and can contribute to the development of a healthier and more active society. Thank you.
So, the last one is conclusion. The national education policy, through initiatives like One Murid, One Sukan, is vital for developing well-balanced, unified, and competitive students to support Malaysia's growth. While the policy successfully promotes healthy lifestyles like inclusivity, its implementation is hindered by limited funding, poor facilities, lack of trained staff, and low parental support. Moving forward, continuous evaluation and stronger collaboration between the government, schools, parents, and the private sector are essential to overcome these challenges and achieve Malaysia's long-term national goals to improve in the future.